National Security Agency. Today, he and his family are expecting a visitor. His new assistant has come over for cocktails.
How you doing? Come on in.
Dashing young agent arrives bearing gifts. For his boss, his favorite brandy.
Hey, thank you, Richard.
For his boss's wife, a lovely bouquet.
Nice to meet you.
Good for you.
Oh, thank you. They're beautiful.
You're welcome.
Hi. Jenna, come here, honey.
And for his little girl, the hottest new toy of the year. A Furby. These talking electronic marvels are all the rage with the kids, and they're impossible to find. Needless to say, the little girl is delighted. The boss's new protege scores some major points.
How important this is.
Over time, the bureau chief comes to depend increasingly on his new recruit, so he can do more intelligence work from his secured home office
That would be the way to go on that, yeah.
and spend more time with his family. For the chief, it's the best of all possible worlds. Then one Saturday, the family heads out for a day in the park.
Oh, Jenna, let's leave that here.
But when they return home, the chief sees signs of a forced entry while they were gone. He tells his wife and child to back away, then enters the house, armed and ready for anything. But strangely, nothing is disturbed. He searches all through the house, but there isn't anything missing. Not clothes, money, nor anything else.
Is there anything missing?
Except
Where's Furby, Mommy?
Furby. The toy has disappeared. They can't figure it out. They know parents literally break out in fights at toy stores over the hard-to-get toy. But breaking into a house to steal one? It doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, in an undisclosed location far away, the chief's new young agent enters a secure room with a briefcase. In it, he has an extraordinary device. The missing Furby. It turns out the fuzzy little doll is equipped with a recording chip. Our dashing young agent is in fact an enemy spy, and he planted the toy in the office of the NSA bureau chief by hiding it in plain sight, in the hands of the chief's young daughter. While she played nearby, the Furby recorded his secret conversations.
Contacting all our armed services. Okay, the Navy's involved, Air Force.
Which are now in the hands of sinister forces. And when the security breach is later discovered, the government issues a directive banning Furbies from the National Security Agency. A slick tale of betrayal. But is it true? Or a little fur-fetched? Since the attacks of September 11th, 2001, the government has become sensitive about possible threats to national security. In this atmosphere, silly stories about Furbies being banned by the NSA might be expected. But the legend has been lurking about since 1998, and that makes it suspect. Why, in an era of peace and prosperity, would a kid's toy set off alarm bells in Washington? Well, according to LA's Fred Vallis, surveillance expert and private eye to the stars, you can no longer assume you're not being watched, because guys like him are paid to watch you.
I'm an expert in the use of surveillance techniques, in particular video and hidden camera. We can hide a camera in just about anything you can think of. We put them in clocks, pagers, cell phones, books, VCRs, televisions. We even built one into a coffee cup that actually held coffee. We do this because everybody's wise to the nanny cam, the teddy bear. So what we do is we take an existing object that's always been there and no one's the wiser. When we take the personal object back to our shop, we open it up and we hollow out a cavity to place our camera. The surveillance equipment I'm talking about are very small video cameras, all about the size of a postage stamp. But we drill a pinhole through and mount our camera up against the pinhole, which is virtually invisible from the exterior. And we bring it back to the house and put it right back in its original place where it's always been. From there, we either transmit out to a vehicle or we hardwire into a VCR, which is hidden someplace else in the house.
And from then on, nothing happens out of sight of the homeowner. But everyone isn't as savvy about surveillance as Fred Vallis. Those who aren't have been caught in the act at everything from petty theft to child abuse. And very often, it's been with a camera buried inside a child's toy. But these toys don't include Furbies.
It's so chock full of electronics, it's only this big, that you couldn't really put a camera or a microphone in it without making it look pregnant.
And in the legend, it's the Furby's own technology that presents the security threat. And what makes this plausible is how sophisticated kids' toys have become these days. Wild Planet is a leader in spy toys dreamed up for the James Bonds of tomorrow. Their iLink communicator has an eyepiece that displays a text message sent to you from another wearer. To respond, you just type in your secret message on a wrist-top keyboard and send it to your fellow spy, where it pops up on his eyepiece.
Hi, Amanda.
And if you've just got to hear the latest gossip from your older sister, the spy micro-listener will give you the inside scoop.
If we have like a pillow fight and tell secrets.
Of course, these are all for fantasy play, but the technology is impressive. Impressive enough to make you wonder about Furbies. And what if the NSA did the same thing? To know the truth of all this, we need the complete rundown on what a Furby can and can't do. And who better to demonstrate that than Furby's own inventor?
The Furby does a lot of various things. It has sensors. It can tell if you touch its tummy, it laughs. If you rub Furby's back, it purrs because it likes that. It can tell if another Furby's in the room. It will talk back and forth to it. It can tell if it's held upside down, which it doesn't care for much.
But it was the fact that Furbies respond to voices that launched the legend. Some folks thought this ability included recording voices and playing them back. So in December of 1998, an NSA employee made an internal inquiry as to whether Furbies were permitted at work. The response was a memo stating that any device that recorded sounds or images was banned, including Furbies. Furbies were just assumed to have recording capability. When news of the memo got out, the press treated it as a Furby alert, an exaggeration of reality, sensationalizing the NSA's paranoia.
No one contacted me, and no one asked me the simple question, can Furby learn secrets? And I could have answered the question real quick. The microphone in Furby cannot record any sounds at all. And Furby reacts to the volume of the sound. Okay, Furby, loud sound.
This audio tracing shows what a voice produces on the top line and what the Furby hears below. Nothing but a loud sound. No words can be made out, nor are any recorded.
What gave the NSA, as well as most people, any idea that it could learn it all is that I gave Furby a made-up language. And that helps to prevent people from knowing exactly what Furby's doing all the time. It allows the imagination of people to take part of this interaction with Furby. And this imagination has allowed Furby to do all kinds of amazing things. People's imaginations are better than what I could have ever put into the toy.
In this legend, technology is seen as a threat, but in our next legend, it's seen as an embarrassment. True or false? While filming the movie The Wizard of Oz, a Munchkin actor committed suicide by hanging himself and can be seen in the background of the Tin Woodsman scene. The answer when we return.